So this is ICAI study material questions on chapter 5, importation and exportation of goods. So test your knowledge questions. So Queen Mary is a vessel containing the goods imported by XML Limited. The events relating to its entry into India and the discharge and onward movement and storage of the goods are as follows. 24th May, so vessel entered the Indian territorial waters. 25th May, import manifest was delivered to the customs authorities. 27th May, XML5, so bill of entry. So then 29th May, entry inwards granted to the vessel. The rate of customs duty on the goods was increased from 8% to 10% on 28th May. At what rate should XML Limited pay the customs duty on the goods imported? So in case of import of goods for home consumption, date of, it is vessel, date of presentation of bill of entry, so that is 27th May, or date of entry inwards, that is 29th May, whichever is later. So 29th May should be taken as the relevant date for determination of rate of duty. On 29th May, the rate is 10%, so therefore we need to take 10% in this case. The applicable rate of customs duty in this case is 10%. Okay. Then next question number 2. Write a brief note on self-assessment in customs under the Customs Act 1962, section 17. 4 points you need to write. Step number 1. So any bill of entry filed by the importer or any shipping bill filed by the exporter, so if they can do the assessment on their own, they can assess the duty payable and they can file the bill of entry and shipping bill. Step number 2. Such bill of entry or shipping bill will be taken up for scrutiny by the proper officer, and if everything is found in order, step 3, it will be self-assessment completed. If it is not found in order, so the proper officer can do the reassessment. And step number 4, that reassessed duty can be paid by the importer or exporter, or they can go for appeal. So a speaking order will be passed, reassessment order will be passed within 15 days. So that is about self-assessment. These 4 steps you need to write. Then state briefly the provisions of Customs Act relating to payment of interest in case of provisional assessment. Payment of interest. So whenever upon finalization of provisional assessment, any differential duty is payable. Such differential duty is payable along with interest at the rate of 15% per annum from the first date of the month in which duty is provisionally assessed till the actual date of payment of differential duty. So that interest related provisions is what you need to write. Okay. So that interest provisions. Then question number 4. Question number 4. What is meant by boat note? Boat notes refer to, as per section 35, boat notes is a document which is issued by the customs officer when the goods are brought from the ship to the shore through small boats. When a vessel cannot enter into the shore, so we will be bringing those goods from the ship to the shore through small boats. For that small boats, when the goods are transported through that small boats, so usually there won't be any document, so therefore that goods should be accompanying a boat note. However, in case of goods going from India to outside India, that is shore to ship, anyhow that goods will have a shipping bill or bill of export, so boat note is not required. That is that. Then discuss the provisions relating to transit of goods and transshipment of goods without payment of duty under Customs Act. That is, you need to remember, we need to write 3 points. First, what is section about transit? 53. Transshipment, section 54. Transit. So the imported goods will continue in the same conveyance and will be transported from one port or airport to another port or airport. Now on that remaining goods on which are transported to another port or airport, in the first port or airport, no need to pay any customs duty. And in case of transshipment, the conveyance which brought the goods into India in the first port or airport, so from that conveyance to another conveyance, the goods are unloaded, and the another conveyance will be taken to the another port or airport, that too without payment of customs duty. In case of transit, as the same conveyance is taking, there is no declaration or no document required. But in case of transshipment, there is a bill of transshipment or declaration of transshipment is required. So in case of transit, there is continuity of records, but in case of transshipment, there is no continuity of records. That's the reason why bill of transshipment or declaration of transshipment is required. One more point also you can write in this regard. In case of transit, the transit freight and insurance should be included in the value of the goods, whereas in case of transshipment, the transshipment freight and insurance not to be included. Okay. Then next one, explain briefly the duty exemption to baggage under section 79 subsection 1 of the Customs Act. So there are certain exemptions available in case of baggage, that is, so used personal effects, travel souvenirs, and a laptop computer for a person more than 18 years of age, and some allowances are available as per baggage rules 2016. So that is about we need to write, okay, what are the various allowances, got it? So then next one, question number 7, what is the relevant date for determination of rate of duty and tariff valuation in respect of goods imported or exported by post? Section 83. As per section 83, in case of import of goods by post, that too by vessel, date on which the postal authority submit the parcel list to the proper officer, or date of arrival of the vessel, whichever is later. In case of aircraft or vehicle, we need to take date on which postal authority submits the parcel list to the proper officer. That only should be taken as a relevant date for determination of rate of duty in case of import. But in case of export by post, so we need to take the date on which the exporter hands over the parcel or delivers the parcel to the postal authorities. That date should be taken, okay. Then question number 8, explain the obligation cast on person in charge on arrival of vessel or aircraft in India under section 29 of the Customs Act. As per section 29 of the Customs Act, so the vessel or aircraft should be brought into the approved port or airport only. If they are going to any port or airport, that may be on account of stress of weather or accident or any extreme situation like unforeseen contingencies, and whenever they visit that place, that is any other port or airport apart from customs port or airport, so then they need to produce a logbook before the customs officer, and they need to intimate it to the nearest police officer and produce the logbook, and they should ensure that the goods are not unloaded and even the passengers are not leaving the vicinity of the aircraft or vessel. And in case of some emergency situations or health reasons, the goods as well as the passengers can be allowed to be get down from the vessel or aircraft. So these are the provisions that is there in section 29. Explain briefly the meaning of entry inwards and entry outwards with reference to customs law. So entry inwards is like every person who is filing import, every person in charge who is filing import manifest in case of vessel, import report in case of vehicle, and arrival manifest in case of aircraft containing the details of the goods which are brought in that conveyance. The customs officer will be granting entry inwards, allowing the vessel or aircraft or vehicle to come into the port or airport. That is known as entry inwards, and entry inwards is relevant for the purpose of determination of rate of duty. But entry outwards is obtained by the person in charge for taking the goods outside India and for unloading of the goods, okay. So that is about entry inwards and entry outwards. So entry inwards is permission to begin unloading of imported goods, and entry outwards is permission to begin loading of export goods, okay. Then next, question number 10. Which class of importers is required to pay customs duty electronically? Name the dedicated payment gateway set up by board to use e-payment facility easily by an importer. So who are required to pay electronically? So those importers who are covered under AEO, Authorized Economic Operator Program, or other importers. So if they pay a customs duty more than 10,000 rupees per bill of entry, so they need to pay customs duty electronically, and the electronic payment should be made through ICAI gate, okay. So that is the answer for this. They have to make payment through ICAI gate. Then question number 11. Mr. Anil and his wife, non-tourist Indian passengers, are returning from Dubai other than Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, and they are not tourists. So then in that case, so we need to take 50,000 rupees as the general free allowance. After staying there for a period of 2 years, they wish to bring gold jewelry purchased from Dubai. Yes, they are eligible for jewelry allowance also. Please enumerate the provisions of customs law for jewelry allowance. Mr. Anil can bring jewelry allowance, jewelry to the extent of 20 grams with a value cap of 50,000, and Mrs. Anil can bring jewelry to the extent of 40 grams with a value cap of 1 lakh. That is the jewelry allowance available as per rule 6, okay, not rule 6, rule 5, as per rule 5. Rule 3 and 4 is general free allowance. As per rule 5, jewelry allowance, that is what they can bring. Okay, that is this. Then next question number 12. Can the customs audit cover a person who is not an importer or exporter? Yes. As per section 99A, customs audit can be, auditee as per section 99A is not only an importer or exporter but also custodian of the goods, licensee of a warehouse, or any person who is dealing with the imported or exported goods, selling, buying or storing the goods, includes a customs broker, is covered under the audit. Then 13, a fishing trawler is operating 10 nautical miles from the baseline. Is it entitled to duty free stores? No. So only when they are outside the 12 nautical miles, then they will be called as a foreign going vessel or aircraft. Okay, you see that answer. So foreign going vessel or aircraft means, an aircraft or vessel which is taking the goods or passengers to a place outside India. What is the meaning of India? Territory, 12 nautical miles beyond territorial waters. Due to that reason, it will not be called as a foreign going vessel or aircraft, and they are not entitled for duty free stores. What are the circumstances under which assessment is done provisionally under section 18? So section 18 provisional assessment. So we have different different cases. Number one, importer or exporter unable to do the self assessment on account of value or rate, or when the proper officer wanted the chemical examination or test to be conducted, or in case when importer or exporter is required to submit the documents but not submitted the documents, or importer or exporter has submitted the documents but the proper officer is of the opinion that so the documents are not sufficient. In that case, 4 cases. Then state the provisions of transshipment of goods without payment of duty. It's a repeated question, already we discussed. Explain the procedure prescribed under Customs Act in case goods not cleared, warehoused or transshipped within 30 days. If the goods are unloaded and not cleared within 30 days, such goods unloaded can be disposed of by the customs officer, or it can be deposited into the warehouse. So this warehousing is not done by the importer but done by the customs officer. So it is known as warehousing without warehousing, and this warehousing will be done for a period of 30 days, further 30 days. And for every 30 days they need to do a review, that is customs officer is required to do a review whether to dispose it of or allowed to be continued it in the warehouse. Write a short notes on export manifest. Export manifest is a document that is filed by the person in charge in case of export of goods by vessel. Boat note, it's a repeated question. Discuss briefly temporary detention of baggage, that is whenever we are importing the goods by baggage and those imported goods in the form of baggage, so customs duty is not required to be paid, those goods can be detained temporarily with the customs officer, and upon return those goods can be taken, or the person can authorize any other person to take those goods, or they can request the customs officer to export it as a cargo. And this temporary detention of baggage, no need to pay baggage duty, facility is not available in case of undeclared goods. So only for those goods which are declared this will be applicable. Then what is the relevant date for rate of duty and tariff valuation in case of import and export by post? It's a repeated question. What is the permissible time limit with respect to the following? For filing a bill of entry, before the date of arrival. For paying the assessed duty. So 2 options, immediate payment option immediately upon filing bill of entry, deferred payment option at a later point of time. So due dates we need to know. From 1st to 15th, 16th working day, and 16th to end of that month, next month 1st working day. Suppose if it is a month of March, 31st March should be taken. For delivery of arrival manifest or import manifest before the date of arrival, and for import report it will be within 12 hours after arrival. State in brief the provisions of the Customs Act relating to filing of arrival manifest or import manifest. Repeated question. Write a brief note on declaration made by owner of baggage. So as per section 77, every person who is bringing the goods as a baggage, so needs to declare the contents of goods that are brought at the time of embarkation and this disembarkation. And this declaration of contents is crucial for determining the rate of duty, the relevant date for determination of rate of duty. Then state and summarize the provisions and procedures in Customs Act governing preparation and filing of bill of entry. So all provisions relating to filing of bill of entry needs to be given. So that is, what is bill of entry, what are the types of bill of entry, and when that bill of entry needs to be filed, what is the late fee for delay in filing bill of entry. So that points we need to write. Under what situations the amount of duty and interest refundable under section 18? That is, section 18 is provisional assessment. Upon finalization of provisional assessment, if the final assessment duty is less than the provisional assessment duty, then in that case, so the interest will be payable under section 18. But this interest, this refund amount is subject to the provisions of unjust enrichment. Means we need to prove that, so we should not transfer the burden to any other, we have not transferred the burden to any other person, otherwise it will be credited to consumer welfare fund. Okay. So that is this answer for question number 23. Then next 24. State the procedure for clearance of imported goods by post. It's a procedure theory question. Briefly explain the following with reference to provisions of Customs Act. All these are definitions. All these are definitions. So bill of export, import report, imported goods. So these definitions and all. So you need to learn once. Okay, just go through these definitions once. Then question number 26. With reference to the facility, clear first, pay later, extended to importers under the customs law, answer the following questions. What is the objective of this facility? So in order to defer the payment of customs duty, who is eligible? Importers who are covered under authorized economic operator program, or any notified or authorized public undertakings are covered. What are the due dates? So if the bill of entry is filed between 1st to 15th of the month, by 16th working day of that month, and if it is filed between 16th to end of that month, next month first working day, for the month of March it is 31st March. What are the circumstances when deferred payment facility will not be available? So it will not be available if they have failed to pay the duty by the due date more than once in a consecutive 3 months. So then in that case they are not eligible for the deferred payment option. Then 27, Gregory Pegg of foreign origin has come on travel visa to tour in India. He carries with him as a part of baggage the following: travel souvenir 85,000, other articles carried on in person 1,50,000. Travel souvenir is exempted, no need to pay. Other articles 1,50,000, so it will be dutiable. It will be dutiable. 120 sticks of cigarettes. So this will be dutiable, but we can claim general free allowance. And here 12,000. Now this 12,000 is divided into 2, because for 100 sticks we can claim general free allowance. Beyond 100 sticks we cannot claim general free allowance. So what is the value of 100 sticks? 10,000. For 10,000 it will be dutiable. We can claim general free allowance, whereas remaining more than that will be 2,000. For the 2,000 also dutiable, but we cannot claim any general free allowance. Okay. And moreover, it will be dutiable at what rate? 110%. It will be dutiable at 110%. Firearms with 100 cartridges. So each cartridge is 500. Now it will be divided into 3. So firearms is how much? Firearm is how much? Firearm is 50,000. How? 100 cartridges at 500 means 50,000. So out of 1 lakh, if 50,000 is cartridge value, then what is the firearm value? 50,000. So this will be dutiable, yes. What is the rate? 110%. Then cartridges, 100 cartridges. How much is allowed? 50 cartridges is only allowed. So 50 cartridges means what? 25,000. That will be dutiable. And at what rate it will be dutiable? GFA available. GFA available. Okay. And then remaining 25 cartridges, remaining 50 cartridges. Remaining 50 cartridges will be 25,000. That will be dutiable or not? Yes. That will be dutiable. And what will be the rate for that? 110% will be the rate for that. Okay. So that is with respect to this. So now what we need to do, wherever it is dutiable for GFA, first take that. So what is dutiable with GFA? 1,50,000, then 10,000, and then 25,000. So 1,50,000 plus 10,000 plus 25,000. So that will come to 1,85,000. And he is a tourist of foreign origin. Tourist of foreign origin means the general free allowance is how much? 15,000 is only general free allowance. So remaining will be 1,60,000. 1,60,000. Now to this we need to take 38.5%. 1,60,000 into 38.5%. Okay, so 1,60,000 into 38.5% comes to 61,000. 1 second. 1,85,000 minus 15. Sorry, pa. 1,70,000. 1,70,000 into 1,70,000 into 38.5%. 65,450. 65,450. And what are covered under 110%? So this 2,000, this 50,000 and this 25,000. So 77,000 will be dutiable at 110%. So that will be 77,000 into 110%, that will come to 84,700 will be the duty payable. Okay, so that is the answer for this question number 27. 65,450 first. 65,450. Okay, then 110% with respect to this other cases. Okay, but they have not done that computation, just they gave us a note. So that is with respect to question number 27. Question number 28. An importer filed a bill of entry after 60 days of filing import manifest. The Deputy Commissioner of Customs imposed a penalty of 10,000 for late filing of bill of entry. Since importer wanted to clear the goods urgently, he paid the penalty. Can the penalty be imposed for late filing of bill of entry? Definitely yes. There can be no penalty for late filing of bill of entry. Can the bill of entry be filed in advance? Yes. They can file the bill of entry within 30 days prior to the expected date of arrival. Examine the issue regarding period available for filing bill of entry in light of the statutory provisions. So they need to file it before the date of arrival. Okay, before the date of arrival they need to file, and if otherwise they need to pay a late fee, and they can file it within 30 days before the date of arrival. Okay, so that is this information you need to write. Then question number 29. Lakshmi Company imported goods valued at 10 lakhs, white bill of entry presented before the proper officer on 18 December 2020, on which date the rate of customs duty was 20%. The proper officer decided that the goods should be subject to chemical or other test, and therefore the same were provisionally assessed at a value of 10,000 rupees, 10 lakh rupees, and Lakshmi Company paid the provisional duty of 2 lakhs on the same date. Lakshmi Company wants to voluntarily pay duty of 1,50,000 on 20th January 2021. Can Lakshmi Company provisionally pay the duty, and what are the conditions which are to be complied? Yes. So whenever proper officer wanted to do the chemical test or examination, so then the proper officer can order for provisional assessment, and that provisional duty has to be paid, and a bond needs to be executed. Determine the amount of interest payable under section 18 of the Customs Act, assuming that the payment of 1,50,000 as stated above is made on 20th January. Here, what is the final assessment duty? Final assessment duty is, so provisional assessment 10 lakhs into 20% is provisional assessment. Therefore, the same were provisional assessed at a value of 10 lakhs. And Lakshmi Company paid provisional duty 2 lakhs, 10 lakhs into. Lakshmi Company wants to voluntarily pay 1,50,000, and final duty is assessed at 4 lakhs. So, final assessed duty 4 lakhs. Final assessment 4 lakhs. Provisional assessment 2 lakhs. So, what is the difference? 2 lakhs. Difference is 2 lakhs. How the 2 lakhs is paid? So 1,50,000 paid one time, and thereafter 50,000 rupees is paid. Now for this 1,50,000, interest will be 15% per annum for how many days? From the first day in the month in which provisional assessment order is passed. So what is the first day of the month in which provisional assessment order is passed? Say December. So 1st December. So then when that 1,50,000 is paid? 20th January. So in December 31 days, and in January 20 days. So 51 divided by 365. So 1,50,000 into 1,50,000 into 15%, 1,50,000 into 15% into 51 divided by 365, that will be 3,144. 3,144 should be taken. Then here 50,000 into 15% into, so from when? Same December, 1st December, and till when it is paid, balance duty is paid on same day, that is 31st January. So in January 31 days, so 62 days, 62 divided by 365. So 50,000 into 15% into 62 divided by 365, that will come to 1,274. 1,274 will be taken as the interest. Okay. So 3,144, say this, 3,144 and 1,274. So 4,418 will be taken as the interest payable. Okay. So this is on provisional assessment, interest on account of provisional assessment. Then next, question number 30. After visiting USA for a month, Mrs. and Mr. Iyer, Indian residents aged 35 and 40 years respectively, brought to India a laptop computer valued at 70,000, used personal effects valued at 1,40,000 and a personal computer for 58,000. Calculate the customs duty payable by Mrs. and Mr. Iyer if any. Ignore agriculture, infrastructure and development cess. First, so they brought to India a laptop computer valued at 70,000. One laptop exempted. Used personal effects 1,40,000 exempted. Personal computer 58,000. But only one allowance is available. So 58,000 minus 50,000, because general fuel allowance of one passenger cannot be clubbed with the general fuel allowance of another passenger. So 58,000 minus 50,000. So because they are coming from USA, other than Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, so 50,000 will be allowance. So 58 minus 50, 8,000. On 8,000, duty will be payable at 38.5%. So 8,000 into 38.5%. So will be 3,080. 8,000 into 38.5%. Okay. Then next one. Question number 31. That's the last question. Mrs. X, an Indian resident, 36 years old, who was on a visit to China, returned after 6 months. So jewelry allowance not available, remember. She was carrying with her the following items: personal effects exempted, laptop more than 18 years exempted, jewelry fully dutiable, but she can claim general free allowance. Music system dutiable, she can claim general free allowance. As she is coming from China, so therefore 50,000 rupees, which means 75,000 rupees will be dutiable in this case. So why she is not eligible for jewelry allowance? Because she has not stayed abroad for more than 1 year, due to that reason. So which means 75,000 into 38.5%. So 28,875 will be taken as the answer. 28,875 will be taken as the answer. Jewelry allowance not available in this case. So with this, we completed the questions related to chapter 5.